everyone! Ruby's out of the sling today, so she's come to say hello. And I have come to say that Ruby is now, more than a month old. And today, this morning, was my first morning, probably 40 minutes, where Ruby was not stuck on my chest. So I could do, and Dad was sitting with her while she slept comfortably for the first time in his arms. So Dad said, "Oh, you go and do your jobs, whatever you want to do. She's fine here." I came down to kind of take her from him and say, "Oh, I'll put her back in the sling. I've got my sling now." And he said, "No, she's fine. You just do what you want to do." So guess what I did? I put my mat out and I said, I've been on my mat with Ruby for some bit of yoga and meditation and stuff for the last few weeks. But today I had the opportunity to test myself to what I call, let's see what I can and can't do. So my favourite is my shoulder stands, and just to kind of, play around with the inversions, which is obviously, it's been a while since I've done that. So until my mid-pregnancy, I could do short versions of the shoulder stands, and after that, I think my sense of balance and my centre of gravity had moved so much that I thought it's a good time to give it a rest, which I did. So today, because I didn't have Ruby on my in my sling, I decided to just try what I could. I mean, what strength do I have for shoulder stands? And dare I say, I can barely take my legs up 90 degrees. So it's going to be a challenging postnatal recovery, I think, from a strength perspective. So I thought, okay, this is a good starting point. And what I like to do, and I thought this is what I would share with everybody, is that how do you restart a kind of a routine or fitness program after you've had a break? It could be the break after pregnancy, a birth break, or even, sometimes these breaks come as injuries as well, don't they? And I've had a few in my life, obviously the 3 kids I've had, and I always say, when Alice was little and when Layla Rose was little and I was going back to my postnatal yoga classes, which was not the baby bearing at the time, it was just where we mums used to get together and try and get back our fitness together. And I was still pregnant at the time when I was doing those postnatal classes, and one of the very new mums, at the end of the class, said to me, "Oh, I can't even do, you're so pregnant and you can do all these things, and I can't even do what you can do at being pregnant." And I reminded her that actually we tend to be more strong, especially if we've kept active throughout the pregnancy. We tend to be a lot stronger during pregnancy than we are in the weeks following birth, because birth itself is so intense on the body, the core, the pelvic floor, the legs, that we don't realize that it takes a few weeks to really, just even if you don't have stitches or you don't have anything else as such to for healing purposes, just our bodies to kind of feel the strength back. You lose a lot of strength in that period where we give birth. So I reminded her that I could do a lot of things when I'm pregnant, but she as a new mom has a lot of strength that she has probably lost during birth. So I would also do that, and it happened to me as well. I lost a lot of my strength in the interim period between the end of the pregnancy, where you naturally slow down, and you have a little bit of a break, and then you kind of go back to your fitness. So here are my few little tips that I have done every time I've had to take a little break. The first thing I've had to do was mentally to get myself to that place it's been easier every time the breaks have come, to be mentally more prepared for the loss of strength, for the loss of that feeling of, I can do everything. The first time around, it threw me. I was like, oh, I'm not as strong as I want to be. And it took me mentally a lot more to kind of get my head around that. So I would say, if you're starting on a journey where you're bringing your fitness back, it's really important to think, to just, be with yourself and think how this journey might be, and how you might be able to navigate that murky areas of your emotional and mental well-being. From that point onwards, things get a bit easier. Once you get your head around, yes, I have a lot to catch up, then the biggest thing that helped me leap forward in that thinking is reminding myself that, as we say, muscle has memory. So if you've done something before, rest assured that getting to that point second time around will be a lot shorter than the journey that you had to go through to just get to that point in the first place. So reminding yourself that your muscles, your body has the memory of being in a strong place, which means that you will get there a lot quicker, and that's a great leap forward. So getting your head around it, reminding yourself that you will get there faster this time around is for me the starting point. And then today, because I had the opportunity to just be with myself on the mat, all I did today was just have a few of my props around, the bits that I like, and just try and do the postures, exercises, whatever it is that I had always enjoyed. So this makes the first session on your own just exploring, fun. And those, we all have them. Certain things we just don't like. Certain exercises that are just one of those things. Oh, that one, I'll go and get a glass of water now that everybody's doing that one. It's those things. Well, don't do those at the start. Because the ones that you like are the ones that your body feels most comfortable with. That's why you enjoy them, because you can do them well. And we're all made differently, so we all like different things. So why not start on a high, right? So that's a great way to get started. Give yourself a positive start. Don't try and, dare I say, follow a class or a routine. I'm not saying not to do classes, but this is the first couple of sessions that when you just come back on your mat or in your exercise session. Don't put anything on. Don't expect that you will finish a 15-minute class, 20 or an hour-long class, whatever it is. Don't do that. Just bring your mat out, or whatever if you've got anything that you do an exercise with, or just your body, and play with it. See what you can do. So today for me, it was like I just started with a bit of warm up, some downward dogs, and you can imagine, if all my yoga has been with Ruby in the sling, downward dogs. Like I was so happy to kind of just go with that flow, and I did lots of planks, because again, those are the things that I wanted to do for a while and I couldn't with Ruby. So I did the things that made me happy. I also realized, wow, I've lost a lot of those strengths, the things that I could do. So my plank at times were a lot smaller. My downward dog, with all the feeding and all the sitting around and all the other things that new mums have to do, the downward, I felt very stiff. But it was a really good eye-opener for me to say, okay, this will be my starting point. That's the way to kind of be. It takes a bit of while to get your mind there, but if you do it and then you're not doing anything that you hate, or you it's very hard for you anyway, you can end the session on a high, because you're doing only the things that you really like. So it was no more than 20 minutes on the mat for me. I did some deep squats on my own, because again, I've done a lot of squattings towards the end of my pregnancy. I do squats are very lovely with the baby in the sling, so I get really deep squats. But it's a very different feeling of being able to squat deep on your own. So I tried to do a little bit of that as well. really enjoyed my time. So that 20 minutes just passed, and then I heard a little cry in the living room, so I knew that my time was up. And yeah, it was a session of self-care. It was a session of enjoying myself, for the sake of just having a good few minutes on my own. And it reminded me of where I'd like to go from here, slowly, steadily. It didn't make me feel sad that I am here, oh, I've lost a lot of my fitness. It just made me feel resilient and say, okay, it's time to now slowly step up. And then what I'm doing now, as I'm processing that little session I had with myself, is is to kind of just it'll process, and then my next session I'll think about, oh, I'll do this slightly differently, or it will come to you. So have that confidence that if you have lost some of your fitness, you yourself can bring it back. And there'll be times when we all need teachers, so we can go to classes, whether you're coming to my classes or me going to the teachers that I like. We'll all kind of need that support from people who can support us. But don't forget that we need to be with ourselves as well. So every now and then, bring the mat out on your own and just explore. Or, again, I say mat because mat's my thing to go to, but, just kind of, do your thing on your own. And I can't stress that enough, that you need to spend time to explore your own levels of strength rather than just being told what to do all the time. So yeah, let me know what you're doing on your own and what you enjoy. What I'd love to know is, am I the only one who really loves inversions, or you guys, do you love your shoulder stands, your headstands, your handstands? I'm not very good at handstands, but I know Jane, my friend who's amazing at capoeira, she is my inspiration for handstands. She is so elegant. She is so graceful that I'm kind of hoping to pick up a few things from her. And I have also a very Jo, who does Hoop for Joy. She's just inspired me to kind of go for hula hooping. So all of these people in my life around me are so inspirational that I'm going to start thinking about my fitness in a much more broader way, to incorporate all of these things that I have shared and learned from people around me as well. It makes the whole thing a lot more fun than, oh, let's just go one track mind. And it's also realizing that what a nice flow life can be. A little bit of up, a little bit of down. Sometimes we are strong, extremely strong, and sometimes we are vulnerable. And so it's one of those things to maybe just celebrate and not be so anxious about. We've got enough to be anxious about these days, don't we? So yeah. Oh, hi Catherine, how are you? I'm trying to press these buttons to wave at people, and I don't think I'm kind of finding. Hey, lovely to see you all. So I just thought I'd come and kind of just share with you that's been on my mind. And I really enjoyed Joe's sister, my really good friend Nick, is here, and she is she's saying she's her sister's marketing manager. Well, her sister needs no marketing manager. If you just see one of her hooping sessions, whether she's done one recently, I know that Jo doesn't need any marketing manager. Just those videos are good enough. But yeah, I think you're now seeing a little grizzly baby who's finished her poo. So before it starts to leak out, we'll say bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you soon. Now I want to go. See you all soon, not long. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.